Do a video here on the drawing processes. So these are drawing processes here, some of my own ones and some of the out of box ones. These ones are set up for different companies, and I generally just use selected assemblies, so I don't do huge jobs. So I can have it set up. I have one set up here for the lightning rail as well to come out in 1:1 scale. But basically, if you go to Output tab, you can see you have your drawing style. So that's probably what you're going to learn to work on first, and the other video covers that. The drawing styles basically controls the output of your drawing using your model roles and the colors of layers, stuff like that, to output drawings with labels. And then the drawing process is another step above that, and the drawing process basically will it creates a whole process for beams, plates, all that. So when you click on the process, it will run a lot of drawing styles and output a lot of drawings with different drawing styles for you automatically. So you'll have ones for handrails, ones for beams. Once you set it up properly, it'll give you a pretty good output. Won't be perfect probably, but pretty close. And then of course after that you have a drawing process suite, which is a whole other thing. So I haven't gone into this yet. So this is another way of setting up. It's actually another advanced stage of drawing process. So not going to get into this now because I don't understand it myself. So if you want to go into the drawing process, we'll have a look at it. And this is just a kind of a discussion with myself, I guess, to show you. Now I've just opened Advanced Steel, so it seems to be pretty slow. I just clicked on that. Oh, sorry, I'm just opening this. I want to come down here and click on the Drawing Process Manager here, sorry. And the one above it is the Drawing Style Manager. So we want to go into the Drawing Process Manager. So we're in. So you can see here is the Advanced, which are ones you cannot change. You can see I have them all deactivated. So if you click on the top folder, this will allow you to deactivate all of these. You can see once you have them all deactivated, then it will not show you the American map up here on the top. It'll just open in your user profile. So we're going to close that. We're going to come here and we're going to go into the user. So there's process steps are here, detailed style map. We can get to these through the drawing process. So we'll just close these down. We'll go into the drawing process. So let's just go to single parts, not all, because I don't really use that. Single parts selected. So you can see here I have single parts selected and CB. So if I click on this, now if you want to create a new one, it works the same as the drawing styles. You can just come in here and copy. So the main definition is here. Let's make this a little wider so you can see it a little better. So we can see the main step is ADM selected single part each and CB. You can create a new one for a new company. Go in here, can select the category you want it to be in, change the name. So that will give you a new one. The problem is this step will still be the same and this will still be the same. So you need to recreate. You don't need to recreate these ones, but you need to recreate this one and this one. So this is change this step. So I'm on ADM selected single part each and CB. So let's just pretend I just created that one. So then you're going to come in. You can see here models, objects. So selected single parts. That's what I want. Selection arrangement by position ascending. That's okay because you can see when I come in here, I have this set for on CB per single part. So I only have one single part per sheet, and the page will close on the next object. You can see here is my prototype. So put in your prototype here. This prototype can be in two locations. You can have a prototype folder in your project folder, or you just have your prototype in your USA folder in my case, so in your Advanced Steel 2021 or 2022 or whichever version you're using. So if you want to create a new one, do the same thing. Come up here, copy it, create a new one. You can change your drawing. So I have the drawing with the part name, so on. I have not changed this, and the flat is just a number getting bigger. So you want to create a new one up here. You want to delete one, you can delete it here. It will not delete it if it's being used in another one, as far as I know. So just be careful when you're messing around. Obviously start at the top, create a new step. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? So in here you have your prototype, you have your page close, on next. Okay, single parts. Okay. Down here we have the scales that we would like to use. So 1.5 inches is to 1 and inch is to 1.5. Special scales, I don't have anything selected here. And then the drawing styles down here. So the detail style map is in here. So what we're going to do is you can go into properties here. So as you can see, this is one I have created myself. If you want to create a new one, just come in here, create a new one, rename it. I'm going to cancel out of that. Let's make this a little bigger. So basically when you come in here, you can see what's controlling what. So basically you want a model object of stringer. So that model object, you have that created in your drawing styles. So we'll take the stringer for example. So a stringer, so anything that has, it should be anything that has a model role of stringer, right? So we'll go back and check that in a second. So anything that has a model role of stringer, so a stringer would also be a beam. So that's why we put this at the top. If I put this down below the beams, then that stringer will be used. And then it will use this here, which is a different drawing style. So basically a stringer, so a beam with the model role stringer will use this drawing style. And then a clip angle will use this drawing style. A folded beam will use this drawing style, so on. You can add new ones here, you can remove ones, you can move them up and down here. So if you want to see where the model objects is controlled, then you need to create new ones, which I have covered in other videos. So we're going to cancel out of this, we'll cancel out of that, go back into your drawing style. I don't think I can do it inside, so go to model objects here. And then we go to parts with model role, and then stringer should be in here. As you can see, I have a lot of extras, which I'm sure is not helping my system. So basically, a model object stringer will be a plate with a model role stringer, or a beam with a model role stringer. So any beam or plate that has a model role of stringer will be assigned to that drawing style. So rather than you having to go and pick the stringers and then pick the drawing style, the process basically does that for you once you set it up. So let's close out that and let's go back into the process again. Oh, that's the drawing style, sorry. So go back into the drawing. So the drawing process is pretty simple, really. The only thing is you need to learn how to do the other one, the drawing style first, which takes a little bit longer. So the process steps are here. You can see. So I don't get into, I just stay in the top. It's less confusing to just stay up here in the processes, I think. I get confused myself. So selected single parts, like I said. I like to do it this way. People with bigger projects are probably going to do all. So I'm not going to get into that because I don't do that. So let's go back here. Again, there's also additional steps. I do not use any additional steps. There is some videos on YouTube for this. This hasn't come up for me yet, so not sure. Most people probably won't need to use that yet. So basically, if you want to create a new one, you're going to come in here. You're going to create a new level here. So you're going to come in here and you're going to create a new one. So I guess we can just do one. So we'll just run through it. Now I have had some issues in the past with this where it doesn't update properly. So let's try it and see. So test. Okay, so I've changed that level, so that's good. Now I have a new one in here, somewhere in here. I guess it won't come up till I do apply, right? So let's see. ST. Alright, so it's not, I don't see it there yet. So it'll probably have to go out, come back in. So I'm going to leave this the same, and I'm going to come in here. So let's go into the properties, and we can see we have this one. So let's create a new one. So there, I've created a new one. I also wanted to go on the next object. I don't have a prototype called test, but what you could do is come in here and change this to test, right? Leave this the same. Apply. Okay. You can see ANSI B per single part test. And probably good practice to come down and change this also. So come down here, create a new one, and let's call this one test. Now you can change it in here and it won't affect any of the other ones you've done now that you've created this new layer. So you can move these around if you want. Apply. Okay, you can add different levels for different model rows. If you add new model rows, you have to create a model object for that. So now I've basically created a new one, but what you will need to do is, I'm just going to go out of that. So what you would then need to do is you would need to come in here, edit prototypes, and then I wanted that on an ANSI B, right? So let's go down to my single part ANSI B. I'm kind of all over the place here. Sorry, I usually, I don't really lay out anything. I just kind of do the videos. So it's a bit all over the place, a little bit scattered, as you probably all know already. So what we do here then is come in here, block editor, we'll come in here, and then what you do is you put in a new logo here for the test. Now, when you open this straight away, I should have renamed this. So don't give it a chance to save over the new one. So come up to save as. Now, of course, you should have all these folders backed up, right? So now this is called test. I should have done this straight away. So now this prototype will be fine. It's going to work. I'm going to close this. Save changes, yes. And now when I go back into the drawing process over here, go back into this drawing process, I can see that now this will be directed to that new drawing, which does not have an icon or a logo on it, right? So what we can do is, let's see if we can just create a beam. I have not numbered this model. This is just for approval. So let's just see. So I have it set to selected single parts. So that's just a beam on its side. Doesn't matter, but that bothers me already. So let's just put the beam in the right way. We'll just go 5 feet, and we'll set the system line right. Select that and go to numbering. Okay, so it's a single part B1 and B1, and if I select that and go to my process, you can see the process has already come up here, which, oh no, hold on. It is not, because it should be in here, right? So I've created another one for assembly. Sorry, it's called test. So it's not available to me right there. So what I'm going to do is I need to shut these palettes down and exit advanced steel, and then come back in and open these palettes for it to be available here. So instead I'll go to output, and I'll go to the process manager, and I'll go to so let me see where it is. Is it down here? It should be there. I don't know why I can't see it over here. Am I losing my mind? Oh, I'm not losing my mind. I made a mistake, and of course I never copied. So I'm after changing. So if you make this mistake, this is how you fix it. So if I go back, you can see I've messed up here, and I have not started at the top level. I needed to copy this one first. So I guess good I figured this out. So let's go back here, and we're going to go back to ADM selected single part each, and see B. You can see this is correct and this is correct. Apply. Come back in here. So it's an easy fix. Copy this, and then we're going to go to test. Next. So now it has created the test one here. Sorry about that. And if I go to in here, and then I'll change it to the test, you can see that that is right, this is right, and this is right. So apply that. So now I have done that. Now click here, and let's check for the test. We can see that it comes in automatically with the tick box, because the one I copied it from had the tick box. Now, so when I go back here, it's not going to be here, right? Because I didn't close this down and open it again. So let's try again. Sorry about that. So it's good to make these mistakes. It kind of shows you how to work around. It's not really a workaround. You just have to fix it. It just takes a second. So let's come back in here. Let's select the test one, and then use. And this is my selected assembly. Okay. And we can see it says that the part B1 has gone to this sheet. Now I have beams set to only output on single part drawings, standalone beams. So show part detail, and you can see it has come in on that proper prototype that I wanted with the label that I deleted. So that's how you set up your drawing process. It's pretty simple. Just be careful when you go in, because I have had issues with changing these here, the file name selector, and it changing back to like a previous one, which is really weird. But I think I have to close out and go back and check it, and then I kind of ironed it out. So you can see this should be ADM, that's ADM. The next one should be ADM. You can see it's not ADM. And B should be MTL, and it's not. And this one, so you know, there's some issues in here that have to be fixed. It's a kind of an ongoing thing, but generally I don't have too much problem outputting. So what you want to do is see file name selector C. You come here, single part each, and CC. So there isn't even one there for ADM. For NCC. So you want to pick that one and then create a new one. And this is not really part of my video, but I'm fixing it here, but this is my laptop, and I have this fixed on my desktop at work already. So just going to go through it again, just so, and then you can see if I come in here to file name selector, C per assembly ADM, but it's single part, so I don't want that one. Single part C, there it is, and C per single part ADM, so that looks better. And then this is fine down here. Then I'll go to the MTL, and I'll go in here, and we can see So we'll just do so on. So this is C. So that's a B one for MTL. I don't have a per single part for MTL. I have for C, but not for B. So go to ADM, create a new one. Come in here, you can see per single part. Create a new one. MTL. And that's good. And this is fine. I'm not going to change this around. See, now I've set this to copy of. Shouldn't have done that. I should have. See, you cannot delete that now. So basically, just be careful when you go in. So I'll just cancel back out of this. But so basically, that's what you want to do. Just be careful. Remember to copy from the top line, which I made the mistake of not doing. I'm not going to redo the video. It's probably good to see people's mistakes. Alright, I hope this helped anyone that wants to work on their process manager. Alright, take care. Bye.